What is up, guys? For this video we're going to be heading out to the junkyard to get some stuff for the truck. I'm going to be getting a injector harness, as well as, I think I talked about this before, but an ASD relay and a fuel pump relay, like the whole assembly with the bracket and everything, off of like an Eclipse or a Neon or something, and use that in the truck as well for some electrical stuff I'm going to be doing. And I'm also just going to go around and see if anything else piques my interest, see if there's anything else I want. I got the car all loaded up right now, and I'm about to head out. At the moment, the GoPro is out of commission again because of a swelled up battery, and this time the battery swelled up like 3 times its size. It had swelled up and popped the back case all the way off of it. The case is like laying next to it, so it was pretty bad. It's like if you ever put a marshmallow in the microwave, it was, you know, like that basically. So GoPro's out of commission. I don't know if I'm going to get another battery for it or not, because the cell phone does a lot better audio wise, and just video wise is a little bit better too. And I'm also using a different app from the stock camera app. This one's called Open Camera, and it's got a lot better stabilization like in the program than the stock camera app does, which is great because I still don't have like a gimbal or stabilizer for the cell phone, because I wasn't too sure I'm going to stay all that committed to the cell phone, and I figured I could almost use like that same stabilizer that fits cell phones for the GoPro, but the GoPro audio was so bad I just don't really want to use it for anything other than maybe time lapses and stuff that would really kill the battery on the cell phone, and I would much rather use the GoPro for that. So I don't know if I'm gonna bring the GoPro back into commission or not, because the cell phone does a lot better. But we'll just see. I probably should get the battery working in that just in case something happens to the phone. If anybody knows where I can get like OEM batteries for, I think it's just like a base model GoPro Hero 4, or just a GoPro Hero, an old base model one where the battery's integrated into it, or it's not like integrated, but it's not supposed to be interchangeable. It looks like the old school cell phone batteries that have like the little cable and the plug coming off of them and everything. If anybody knows where I can get one of those, let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to be able to get an OEM one instead of some Chinese junk like I did the last time. Now we're gonna go head out to the junkyard. We're gonna go look for some parts. Alright, so I am at the yard right now, and before I went back and started looking for stuff I actually wanted, I figured I'd browse the new cars that are in the import lot, and spotted this monstrosity. Looky what's on it. So I just looked these up. These are XXR 530s. These are 17-inch. I don't know how wide. They're 5 by 4.5. I'm gonna go test it on the one 5-lug Dakota they have real quick and just make sure it actually fits, but I'll probably pay just a little bit over $100 for this set of wheels, so I think that's doing pretty good. Never mind. Well, unfortunately, those wheels were junk, so it's off to the Chrysler stuff. I went and took a quick look through the GM section, because every now and then they'll find good wheels on these as well, because a lot of this stuff is 5 by 4.5, but nothing other than just regular old stock wheels. Thought it was weird that all 4 of those wheels were still there. I was actually going to grab a pair of them, but 3 of the 4 have giant dents in them, so oh well. At least I didn't buy them and then realize they were junk. So off to the Chrysler stuff, which is actually right there. Go find a Neon, since I couldn't find an Eclipse, or I could also go find a Sebring or something that's the same chassis as the Eclipse. Just anything that has the same engine management ECU setup. It'll have the ASD relay and the fuel pump relay and the little bracket it comes on, which is mainly what I'm here for. And then I'll run back to the Dakotas and get an injector harness as well. Here's one many of you might not know of. Cadillac Catera, which is basically a rebranded Opel. What's interesting about this car though is that it's rear-wheel drive. See if I can point that up there. Yep, rear-wheel drive, independent rear suspension, pretty rowdy little V6 in it. But unfortunately these things were extremely unreliable, and it was sort of an attempt at an entry-level Cadillac, and it never really took off in this car because of, between that and just how unreliable people found out they were, pretty much flopped. But this is one of my favorite GM vehicles ever, just because of how weird it is and it's rear-wheel drive. But if you can get one really cheap, it still runs and drives, probably make a pretty good drift car for you. Kind of ugly, but not that bad. And then I think the Opel they were based off of came available with a manual transmission, so maybe able to import a trans for it and do a 5-speed swap. PT Cruiser, maybe it'll have it, but I'm guessing it's buried somewhere back here, or it may not have that same thing at all. I haven't found a Neon yet, which is surprising and unfortunate. Oh, that's interesting. It's got some eBay headers on it. Maybe this thing's got... Oh, it's not an RT. And it's got a thrush or something down there. I don't think I've ever found one of those with headers on it here. Hopefully the Neon will have it for me, but I don't know. Doesn't look like it does. That's unfortunate. I want one of these so bad. These things are so cool. Ew. Is it? Yeah, it's electrical taped together too. Sweet. Dodge Avengers will have it too. The Avengers more likely. Oh. These things are pretty cool. The Sebring that I pulled stuff off of may be gone as well. Stop. Stop. I think I'm gonna have to check their website, look for an Avenger or a Sebring, and see if I can find one. And if not, there's one more yard out here I can try to find one of those. Hopefully I can get one. Alright, I finally found what I'm looking for in two places. One is on a PT Cruiser. The other is on a 95 Plymouth Voyager, I think. It's a minivan. And it's like the old boxy mid-90s minivan. I'm gonna grab one of each, and then when it comes time to put the stuff on the Dakota, there's the Chrysler, the PT Cruiser that's got it. When it comes time to put it on the Dakota, I'll just pick and choose whichever one seems to fit best, because they're very differently shaped brackets. Found those, and I'll grab, oh, lots of racks. Rain coming. Grab an injector harness too off a Dakota. I don't think I brought my cutters with me. And I think that'll be it. Didn't get the wheels that I wanted, unfortunately, because they were destroyed, but oh well, I didn't come here planning on getting those anyway. I need these relays and injector harness. That's the only important thing I came here for. There's the one. This is what I was talking about. I got this nice little bracket, and then the wire harness is down there, which may be difficult to get, but there's one. The other one in minivan, it's a little bit different than that, but one of the two should do what I need. Got the injector pigtails. Couldn't get the entire harness because this is a 95 and everything's loomed up in it, but got all these. Also got that. So I'm gonna go grab, I think, a second one of these, and then the one off of the Caravan, and then we'll be done. Alright, I'm back at the house. It's actually the next day. I was really tired and really hungry and just wanted to get to bed so I could go to work yesterday, so that's what I did. And now I'll go ahead and show you guys everything that I picked up while I was there, even though I showed you a little bit. Go ahead and show everything to you again and just kind of explain the plan for these. So the first thing Are these injector plugs. These are off of a 94 Dakota, same thing that mine uses. I'm going to take these and make my own harness for it. And that way I won't have to chop up the factory harness to install the Mega Squirt, because I'm going to be running a piggyback to start, and then once I have the 5-speed transmission in there, I'm going to go ahead and completely do a swap on it, or go completely standalone on it, excuse me, and get rid of the stock ECU completely. But I want it there to control idle when the auto trans is in there, because it knows when it goes into gear to raise idle a little bit, and it'll be a lot easier. Once 5-speed transmission's in there, the factory ECU and wiring harness can completely go. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this also just in case I have any issues with something not working or whatever. If I haven't completely chopped up the factory harness yet, I can plug it back in and the truck will still run on the stock ECU and harness until I have whatever issues I run into figured out. So this is the only thing that really would require me to chop up the harness to run, is the injectors. So having these, I can make my own injector harness, not touch the stock one, and just kind of leave it sitting in the engine bay until the transmission swap is done and it's time to go full standalone. So that's what these are for. And also just make nice backups in case I break one or something too. And these are relay sets, and these were kind of expensive actually. They're like 10 bucks a piece for each relay. They charged me for each relay, and I mean they're warranted at least, so I can swap it out if one doesn't work. But the reason I want these is I'm doing a battery relocation and doing a bunch of rewiring, and I've got 3 bus bars, but they're set up where you hook up one main power source and then put fuses in it and then use a spade connector to run off of those fuse areas. I'm going to have at least one inside of the truck for switched accessories and stuff that I add. I'm going to have 2 in the engine bay. One's going to be for switched power, one's going to be for constant power. And these relays, since they come with these brackets, will be really easy to mount up somewhere, and I can use one for switched and one for power and do the same thing. These, they're kind of scrawny, at least the wires running into them are kind of scrawny. These came off of a 94 Plymouth like van. I don't remember which minivan it was, but it was a 94 van, same thing as like the Dodge Caravan. That's what this came off of. These came off of a PT Cruiser, and these have this relay right here. There's some crazy heavy gauge wire running into it. So at least on this one's not quite as heavy, and then that's why I grabbed a pair of them, because I got 2 of these really heavy duty relays. I'm guessing this is an ASD relay or something to power a lot of really important things inside of that car. I'm going to use one of these for switch power, because it's going to be controlling or powering the injectors, my ignition, maybe powering the Mega Squirt, although the Mega Squirt's going to be inside of the truck, so I may run it off of whatever relay I put inside, which I think these are going to go inside of the truck. And then one of these will also power the fuel pump, so I've got one big fat one to power like ignition and injectors and stuff, and I got another big fat one to power the fuel pump if I choose to put a aftermarket or a replacement basically fuel pump relay in the engine bay and run some heavy gauge wire to feed the pump, because it's a good way to get a little bit more literage out of your fuel pump, is to run a more powerful relay and really heavy gauge wire straight back to it. That way it has a much easier time pulling power. These 2 came off later, like facelifted PT Cruisers. This one came off a Caravan. The ones off of the DSM still probably would have worked better, but I think these relays that came off of the PT Cruiser at least are a lot more powerful. I don't know about these, but just judging by the 12 gauge wire running into that one and that one, I'm assuming that it's a pretty powerful relay, and of course the harness will be able to supply a lot of juice as well. That's what these are for, and that's everything I managed to pick up. Unfortunately the wheels were destroyed. I already told you guys about that, and I couldn't really find anything else interesting there at the moment, even though I should have grabbed battery bolts off that Dakota while I was there, but that's something for later, I suppose. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I think I kind of drug this ending on a little ways. I hope you've enjoyed. Next video should be either 5-lug swap on the Dakota or battery relocation and rewiring stuff, preparation for the Mega Squirt and anything else I want to add to it in the future. That's why I'm doing this, is so that I don't have to cut and splice wires every time I want to add something. All I have to do is get a spade connector, plug it into a fuse box, and that's it. Run new wires and we're all good. I ordered all the 5-lug swap stuff, and I ordered a couple more things for the Mega Squirt setup. I ordered a new cap and rotor, like a tune-up kit for that distributor, and a new pickup coil for it as well, just to make sure everything is set there. Everything is on the way. I'm going to be doing the wiring. Also going to be doing the 5-lug swap because the tires that used to be on the front are now on the back of the Dakota. The two that I didn't buy new shortly after I got the truck are very, very bad. So I'm going to do the 5-lug swap, stick the 2 good tires from the private wheels I've got on the back of it, and just run mixed match wheels for a little while until I get around to doing the front swap and putting new tires on the other pair of wheels. But with that, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I want to thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you later.